You're watching Underdog Gaming. Here at the beginner's guide for Bane. Bane is a high damaging rushdown character with grapples galore and some high damaging combos. To start things off, let's discuss his special moves. Now real quick, I do want to mention that every single one of these special moves is unsafe on block. Just keep that in mind from here on out so I don't repeat myself over and over again. You want to make sure to combo into all these special moves whenever possible, because doing them raw is always a big risk on your end. Raging Charge does good damage and covers the entire screen as well. When combined with Bane's Venom, it also has armor, so it's a great way to counter projectiles. Just make sure you do the move before the projectile comes out, since doing it on reaction will still give your opponent time to block. The attack also leaves you in perfect range for Bane Bomb, so it's a great way to keep pressuring the opponent. The meter burn version does more damage and leaves you closer to the opponent, giving you access to more mix-ups. Ring Slam snags the opponent out of the sky, so it's a decent anti-air. With that being said, the main purpose for this move is to end combos, especially if it carries the opponent towards the corner. The main issue with this move is that the animation changes based on where you grab the opponent, so it's very important to memorize which combos leave the opponent in the correct state to carry them towards the corner. Otherwise you can end up throwing them the wrong direction, or just getting the wrong move in general. Here are my preferred combos to end with Ring Slam, since they do good damage and carry the opponent towards the corner. Venom Uppercut does good damage and is a great wake-up attack as well. It's also your go-to anti-air whenever you have Venom available, since it has armor and will beat the opponent every time. The meter burn version does a lot more damage, but also leaves the opponent further away, so it's harder to apply pressure. Just keep that in mind. Mercenary Elbow is fast, has good range, and hits overhead, so it's an all-around great attack, especially if the opponent is afraid of your low combo starters. It's also a great way to replace attack strings that would normally hit low twice, like back 1-1 for example. Just like Raging Charge, it also leaves the opponent within range of your Bane Bomb, so that's important to take note of. The enhanced version does more damage, but also leaves the opponent further away, so much like Venom Uppercut, it's not your best option unless you have the opponent cornered. Bane Bomb is an unblockable command grab with great range. It also leaves the opponent close enough for a second Bane Bomb, or a third Bane Bomb, so until your opponent learns to backdash or jump away, it'll catch them every time. When combined with Venom, this attack becomes very hard to escape, since most wake-up attacks will still lose to it. The meter burn version does more damage, but also switches sides with the opponent, so keep that in mind. It's also important to note which block strings work best with Bane Bomb, so I've listed them on screen. These attack strings will ensure that Bane Bomb still connects, even if the opponent blocks them. That's it for his special moves, so let's move on to his best attack strings. Now please bear with me because Bane has a lot of good attack strings. Overdose does good damage and knocks the opponent away towards the corner. With that being said, it is unsafe on block, so be careful when using it. It's also worth mentioning that you can hold down the last hit, or cancel it with a backdash or a forward dash. This can be a good way to keep yourself safe, or dash in for a mix-up. Holding down during the third hit will do Heavy Hammer, which hits overhead and launches the opponent. This can lead to extra damage, and as seen earlier, a great way to combo into Bane Bomb if the opponent blocks it. This attack string also leads to Bane's highest damaging combo, especially when combined with Venom. Raw Deal does more damage and is +2 on block, so you're actually at advantage if the opponent blocks it. Hard Time does good damage and pushes the opponent towards the corner, and it's also safe on block, but just barely. Feel the Pain is fast and ends in an overhead that can lead into a short combo. If you're in the corner, then it leads into much longer combos. To top things off, it's also +2 on block, so it's an all-around great attack string. Bitter Taste hits low twice for a good mix-up, and also launches the opponent for a short combo. If you have 2 bars to spin, it also leads to high damaging combos. It's also safe on block as well, and as mentioned earlier, a great way to combo into Bane Bomb if your opponent blocks the first 2 hits. Final Strike is the best way to end most combos, especially when combined with Ring Slam, since it carries your opponent towards the corner. Death Throw is safe on block and hits mid as well, so your opponent can't duck under it. Solitary Confinement hits low and extends combos for big damage. While it is unsafe on block, it also leads into Bane Bomb if the opponent blocks it, so make sure to always be buffering Bane Bomb when doing this move. If it lands, go for the full combo. If it's blocked, go for Bane Bomb. Nightfall ends in an overhead to punish crouching opponents. While it won't lead to a full combo, it is +3 on block, so that's very nice. Spinebuster starts off with an overhead, and then leads into an unblockable throw follow-up, so if your opponent blocks the first hit, the next hit will catch them unless they backdash or jump away. You can also meter burn this attack for even more damage. Just keep in mind that Bane does switch sides afterwards. As you saw earlier, you also have 2 extra follow-ups. Veritas Liberat is +2 on block and launches the opponent, whereas Ositor's Secret knocks the opponent further away towards the corner and is barely safe at -5. Also keep in mind that Power Punch and Fist Slam both get armor at level 3 Venom. This gives you a far-reaching option to catch your opponent both on Wake Up, or if they're just trying to zone you out. Bane's character power is his Venom boost. It's very easy to understand, but pretty complex once you get into it. Each level of Venom gives Bane more damage to his attacks, and he also takes less damage from the opponent. Before each Venom tank runs out, you have the option to pop the next one. But here's the trade-off. When Bane's Venom runs out, he actually enters a debuff period, where he takes more damage from the opponent, and also does less damage during his combos. And if you're at a higher Venom level when the debuff starts, then the debuff will last for longer. So in other words, a level 1 debuff doesn't last for very long, whereas a level 3 debuff lasts for a very long time. So it's important to be responsible and understand if the Venom is worth it or not. Level 1 Venom also gives armor to most of Bane's special moves, with Ring Slam being the exception. This makes Bane's Wake Up attacks very powerful, and also allows him to apply more pressure to the opponent. Level 3 Venom actually allows Bane to break the opponent's armor, so it's great for snuffing certain Wake Up attacks and even super moves. Bane's super does good damage and hits from full screen, so it's a great way to counter projectiles. It also does even more damage when combined with Venom. With that being said, popping all 3 levels isn't worth it most of the time. Since Bane doesn't rely on meter for most of his combos, his super is actually a great option. Now let's put it all together for some basic bread and butter combos. The button translations are in the video description below. Please request which character you want to see next. If you enjoyed this guide and found it helpful, please leave a like down below. And while you're down there, go ahead and post a comment too. Tell me what you think. If you want to help support the channel and look good while doing it, please check out my t-shirts. If you want to support the channel more directly, please stop on by my Patreon. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, because we have content on this channel every single week. It's never a dull moment on Underdog Gaming. So make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.